Do you ever feel like the room is heavy, like the air is hot and the air is sweaty? Do you ever feel like the room is heavy and I can't sleep? And I can barely breathe.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Sam, how are you doing?
What's the crack?
Yeah, good. It's cold. It's really cold today. Freezing.
Is it? Yeah, it's actually pretty cold here today as well, and it's raining a lot.
Where are you calling from? Are you in Dublin?
Yeah, I'm calling from my bedroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Amazing. Look at that. Right back to where it started.
Yeah, still here.
Amazing. So our worlds have collided today to talk about how things are going for you and the success of your debut album, A Letter to Self, which of course has received widespread acclaim. How's it going? How are you?
Right now it's going good. Yeah, at the moment we're kind of just like on like I guess like a little break because we have a tour coming up. So yeah, when the album came out, we did like a record store tour for a week. That was just mad, just because everything was happening that time. All the reviews coming in that were really good. Then meeting all the fans, it was really nice. And yeah, now we've just had like 2 weeks off where we can just kind of hide from everything and just kind of relax before we kind of go back out into the world, I guess.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm pretty relaxed.
Amazing. Yeah. Have a bit of time to be hermits for a bit because you're so busy all the time. Like I can see it on social media, but also see it when we're out and about and stuff, like just how busy that you guys are. So you must be like pretty tired, I assume.
I'm okay now. Like we've quit our jobs. So like now that we don't have anything to do, I'm actually just at home chilling, like, not having to get up for work, getting life admin stuff done, boring stuff, whatever. So yeah, it's been nice, and then it will get crazy again. I think in a week and a half maybe, which I'm looking forward to as well.
So what's happening in a week or two then? Because I know you've got so many dates coming up. You've got an upcoming tour, and you've got some dates in the US. Tell me a bit more about what's coming up.
Yeah, we're going on tour in Europe with English Teacher, which is like pretty exciting. It's like the first tour we've gone on, and we're gonna have like the same band for every gig. And obviously English Teacher are amazing. We're friends with them, so yeah, it's gonna be like going around Europe with a bunch of your friends. I mean, it's gonna be super fun, and we get to play the album, like the whole album, I guess, for the first time. We have to do like a new set list. It's got to be a bit longer. I play songs you never played before. Might take a bit of tinkering out, which is like the best way to do the set list. Like, set list is one of those things where everyone has their own idea of how it should be. I've already thrown my hat in the ring, but I'm sure others will have another idea.
Who gets the ultimate decision on that? Who's the ultimate decision maker when it comes to set list?
We all you just kind of see how it goes live, we all you kind of just figure it out, I might say, oh, this song would be good here, and then we'll do it, and then it'll be like, that didn't work at all, let's never try that again. And so yeah, it would be a bit of figuring out, I guess, for the first few weeks, and then it's off to America in March, which is just crazy.
Yeah. And then, it is crazy. What are you most looking forward to about those US dates being across the pond?
The food. I probably might get sick of the food though. I don't know. Seattle, Chicago. Like there's just places we've never been to before.
Yeah.
We've only been to New York and Austin. But yeah, it's like you don't know what to be excited for. It's just like all of it. It's
so
it's a bit
big. It's America, like it's huge. Yeah.
And we're going from one side to the other, so we're really gonna see a lot. I'm like, I don't know how to pack, because some places are gonna be really hot, some places are gonna be really cold. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I mean, my friend does a lot of camping in lots of different climates, and she swears by these mohair things. Apparently, I think I've got that right. So maybe just pack loads of mohair. Yeah, and you'll be set for all climates. I don't know, I'm not much of a camper, but apparently it's a bit of a thing. So I'll send you a link to it, mohair.
Yeah, just thinking of like mohawks, mohair. Okay, yeah, send us that.
Well, yeah, I mean, pack that too, show
Yeah,
them a surprise when you get on the stage. So
it's a mohawk.
circling back to the Letter to Self album, obviously it's your debut. How has it sort of the creative process differed in comparison to anything that you've done before, your previous works? And have you faced any sort of challenges this time during its production process that you didn't really anticipate?
Do you know what? I think the creative process was kind of the same approach as our first two EPs, but on a bigger scale. We definitely probably demoed the songs a lot more before going to the studio. Um, but like, yeah, I think we were all kind of maybe expecting to go in there and have a few arguments over different bits and songs, but it was all pretty straightforward and kind of easy. We were kind of in agreement on most things. We were very open to each other's ideas when we wanted to try some stuff. Our engineer Dan Fox was probably a bit more involved than he was in the last two EPs, but not too involved. He knew when to kind of go, that's crap, or try this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think, God, yeah, I don't know, the creative process. I'm really bad at answering that question whenever it comes up.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I mean, I always think the best way to like, as a band, to get like to the best way of a song is just keep like jamming it and over again, and that can be the process in itself, and you just got to trust in that way, and then when you get into the studio and we track all the live stuff, there can be like, oh well, we can overdub a guitar here, or we could try add something there, or maybe add some weird panning thing there, do you know what I mean? Double layer that vocal. You're kind of just bouncing around ideas when you get to a certain point, and yeah, kind of throwing stuff at a wall, see what sticks. And
Well,
then
it was a little bit different this time as well, wasn't it? Because you recorded it in France, in the middle of nowhere, in the sticks in France.
yeah.
And you had a documentary as well to supplement the making of.
Oh,
A little bit about recording it in France and somewhere that you've not recorded it before.
it was really cool. Yeah, like we record in Dublin, like in the middle of town. So like you go home at the end, or you go to the pub and whatever after. But this is like, it was like the studio and then the house, like all in the same compound. So and then the nearest town was like a 20-minute drive or something, So we really were just like in the middle of nowhere, and we had nothing to do but the album. But also because we had like that little separate house, if you wanted to kind of step away from it all, you could.
Yeah.
And then, which is great, because if someone stepped away, the rest are still there, and they can go in and work on something else, and like the owners there, it's like they were cooking us meals, and do you know what I mean? We didn't have to worry about anything really, but just the album. And it worked. Like, do you know what I mean? The idea was just be there so we could do that, and that's what happened. It worked.
Yeah. Making sure you have enough beers as well. Of course, if the nearest shop is a little bit of a trek away, then you need to make sure you're nicely stocked up.
Yeah, we did get a car, and then we did go get some crates of wine. Like they're so cheap, the boxes of wine. probably one or two nights when we, could have went to bed earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all part of the process, and it all impacts the sound,
Yeah, waking up 2 p.m. in the afternoon hungover, it's part of the process.
It's part of the process. That's what we all say. Do you think recording it there impacted the sound in any way? Do you think that it kind of created like a different sort of ambience, if you like, with the room, and if you can sort of hear that on the album?
I think, yeah, like the definitely the room that the drums were in had like a specific sound. It had like a really high ceiling, and just kind of like the room noise of it was really like, I'm shaking the hands, you can kind of really hear the drum kind of room noise, and it's the same throughout the album, but you can kind of hear it most in that song, I think. And yeah, that definitely, I think throughout the album, the sound of it is kind of like a bit like kind of stompery or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was, and just recording it all in the same place obviously gives it the same sound, but we also had these big massive speakers in the mixing room, So whenever we listened back, we were listening back at like trying to make our hair blow off. It was like the aim whenever we listened back. And yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that again. That question could be more of like a sound engineer question, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it definitely impacted the way it sounds. I think where we were. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Well, and I bumped into you guys obviously at one of the bars in Shoreditch just before your album launch at Rough Trade East, which was a weird coincidence because I walked into one of the bars. I was actually there for a hospital appointment. Nearby.
Beside
Huh?
Rough Trade. Is that the bar right beside Rough Trade?
Yeah, right beside Rough Trade. And I saw Jack at the bar in Carlo, and I was like, I'm not stalking you, I promise, but hello.
Hello.
But
Just-
yeah.
album launch.
Yeah, no, I just happened to be here at the same time as your album launch, and of course you do too. So hello. But thank you so much for the invite to that, and obviously extended to the rest of the band as well, because it was really cool and it was really nice to hear that album live for the first time and to see how that was received at Rough Trade as well. And it was obviously, you know, it's really nice to see Carla's like usual witty stage presence and the camaraderie with the rest of the band as well. How have the in-stores been? Because I know you've been doing a few. How have the in-stores been in comparison to the usual gigs and festivals that you guys normally do?
It was a weird one because I thought in-stores were at like 3 p.m. in the day, and you do like 3 songs, and then you know you're done by like 5 or 6, and then the shop closes or whatever. But all these Rough Trades have stages now, and I didn't know until we got there. I was like, no, you're doing like a 40-minute set. I was like, oh crap, I had plans later on. But they were good. No, they were good. It's kind of it's like you're doing a gig, but everyone's holding the vinyl, so no one wants to mosh and wreck their vinyl or whatever. But I suppose it's kind of nice because I guess they are really, really listening. You know, they're there because they're like huge fans, and although they may not be dancing, you can count on that they're like really, really listening and showing appreciation. So it's really nice. It was really nice doing them. Kind of, yeah, they were kind of just more relaxing. You know, not as sweaty. But still super fun, and a good way to like play the songs live for the first time as well, and not have like too much pressure on them, I guess. You know, yeah, it was. Would recommend do it again. The second album.
Recommend do it again. 10 out of 10. It's like just picking up on that about the general vibe of the audience. It is a lot different, I think, isn't it? Because yeah, you're right. Yeah. Holding the vinyls, and I think it tends to be more of an industry thing, and like musos, isn't it? It's people that really want to hear it, and people that are really sort of attuned to all the little different things that you do in this time, as opposed to people like throwing themselves in and throwing pints everywhere, which it was, you know, the last gig that I went to with you guys was at Scala in London. So that was a very different vibe altogether, because that was crazy. You know, people were really throwing themselves around, and I think I could see how well that people were sort of connecting to the music as well, which was lovely to see. And then we went to the Lexington afterwards for a few beers, didn't we? Which was really nice as well to see that, you know, the impact that you're having on people.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like that first time when everyone's lining up and you're signing it, and everyone's just like, I don't know, throwing compliments at you. I think it being Irish as well, you're just kind of like, oh my God, this is really weird, you know. really appreciate it. But it's just a weird feeling, I guess, you know.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
something in the back of your mind that's like, no, don't let this get to your head, you know. Be humble, say thank you, but yeah.
Well, it definitely doesn't come across like that. You know, you guys seem to have still maintained that same humbleness and like modesty almost from when I first connected with you throughout. And that's really nice. And I think that's one of the most endearing things about Sprints, is that, you know, it's just sort of like that same consistency of that warmth and friendliness that you get from you guys. So as your fan base continues to grow, like globally as well, have you found that your music resonates differently with audiences from different cultures and backgrounds?
Oh God.
I don't mean to throw you off.
No, you're not throwing me off. I need to think about this. Do you mean like how does it resonate with like people from a specific country, or just like
Yeah, well, I guess so, because I mean, you know, a lot of the messages that are in the tracks are they can either be quite political or they can be about, you know,
Yeah, I
social
think
forms of differences. So that's received differently everywhere. And I'm wondering if that's any different in other countries and people from different backgrounds, because I know a lot of people from the UK and Ireland they really get it, you know. And I'm wondering if that's the same elsewhere as well.
I think all over the world, people, you know, the problems we have here and in the UK, they're kind of the same everywhere, you know. Whether it be the housing crisis or, like, you know, the rise of the fucking far right or something, you know. Most people like you and me or that listen to this music, we're all feeling like the same kind of frustration. So I think it's kind of similar. You kind of get the similar response and the similar type of people, you know. People that are just angry with the way things are going and don't want it to go the way things are going and stuff. Yeah, I mean, the fans we meet, like, whether everywhere, are also just always really, really nice to us as well. And it's always like, yeah, always the same age group. There's like usually a lot more 40-year-old men in our crowd, no matter where they are. I don't know what that is. I checked it on Spotify as well. Most of our listeners are 40-year-old men as well. Don't know what that is. Maybe it's old punk fans, I guess.
Yeah, you must be doing something right. You know?
Yeah. Punk fans can be hard to like, you know, I don't know. I've heard some funny reviews from punk fans being like, I've been a punk fan for 20 years and this is the worst piece of shit I've heard in my life. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Cheers for that. Yeah.
Right,
Well, we like it, so.
we tried. But yeah, I guess no, it's similar wherever we go. You know, it's yeah, which is good, I guess. You know.
It's amazing, yeah. And so do you think the general response has been different this time to the album compared to the previous stuff that you've released before?
Yeah, but yeah, because there's more weight in an album, you know.
Yeah.
And but it's been really, because we've had fans that have been waiting for this, so I think most of the response we've been getting is, oh, this is as good as I hoped it would be, and thank you for finally releasing an album and stuff, you know. Which is just really, really nice. And then yeah, you find out comments being like, oh, I never heard of this band, just listen to the album, now I'm gonna go see them, you know. And it's like, oh well, okay. So it's doing something right, and sometimes for some people, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's all crazy.
It is all crazy. Well, I connected with you and interviewed Carla and Jack at Truck Festival.
Yes.
And that felt big at the time. You know, that was in 2020, the summer of 2023. And that felt big. And it's insane to see how far you've come from there in a matter of months. You know, it seems to have gone from 0 to 100 super quickly. And you've had people queuing up all around the block for the gigs that you've been doing. You sold out 5 months in advance. You know, people are scrambling to get tickets here, which is amazing and might feel quite overwhelming possibly for you guys because it's gone super fast. Have there been any challenges whilst you've been doing all these things? And, you know, what have been the biggest challenges for you?
It's definitely a little bit overwhelming. The biggest challenges, I mean, trying to wrap your head around it is a challenge. But I think we've been kind of just trying to take the momentum of it, and just kind of rolling with it. You know, like, we're announcing those gigs in autumn, the Kentish Town Forum. Like, that's a huge, you could say it's a bit of a risk, but I think that might become a challenge, you know, trying to sell tickets for that down the line. But I think right now we're rolling with the momentum, and it feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's just going really well. I can't really think of any challenges we're facing right now.
That's amazing.
Trying to find time for album 2 to write it. That's probably a bit of a challenge right now, because we're planning so much stuff for the year, like gigs here and there and summer festivals. And then it's like, oh, we should probably take some time off to record album 2, or at least write it. I feel like that will probably become a bit of a challenge, but we'll see. Hopefully not.
Fast, yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer because I know that you guys are super busy at the moment. And thank you so much for your time. But finally, what can we look forward to with Sprints for 2024 and beyond?
Lots of gigs, lots of fun gigs, festival slots, bigger gigs at the end of the year, some support slots. We've like 2 or 3 locked in, I think. Not many, but hopefully some more. I mean, I don't know if I can say this, but we'll hopefully have a new track by the end of the year, at least one. But again, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I don't know. Just come along to the shows and
Lots to look
see if
forward
you
to.
enjoy it.
Yeah. More vinyl, please. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope it's not too miserable over there in Dublin as it is here in Birmingham. It's so great.
Oh, are you in Birmingham right now?
Yeah. Right in the
Oh my
middle.
God, I got stuck in Birmingham Airport the other week. I was flying home the day after the storm.
Sure. Oh, no.
And I got to Birmingham Airport really early because it was raining that day as well. And I was like, I'm not going to just hang around the city while it's raining. And then my flight was delayed like 3 hours. So I had like 6 hours in the airport, but there was another Dublin flight scheduled for the same time that also got delayed 3 hours. And I just queued for the wrong flight and I had to stay another night in Birmingham. It was a nightmare.
I mean, that's a curse, but also every time that I've tried to fly from Birmingham to Ireland as well, I feel cursed because every time I've tried to go to Dublin, it's been delayed or my flight's been cancelled or whatever. So I feel like just don't ever fly in or out of Birmingham, ever.
It's like they're so close. It's like, how does it keep getting delayed?
Yeah, I know. What's going on? I don't get it either, but I'll look next time.
I ended up on that propeller plane then the next day and it was so windy. It was awful.
They're the only ones that I've ever ended up on. Are there not propeller planes? Are there other planes on offer? The ones
with Ryanair, I think they have an actual plane, but I always get Aer Lingus and it's always the fucking the small one.
Yeah.
And you're landing like this and you're like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Oh, they're horrible. It's like being in a shoebox in the sky. Next time I'm sailing, I'm gonna cross the and I'm swimming. I'm not gonna get a flight.
It's all right into Dublin. It'd be lovely.
Yeah. As soon as I get there, I'll have a few beers anyway, so it's fine. It'll take the edge off.
Just give us a shout next time you're in Ireland anyway. I mean, we'll show you the best place to get a Guinness.
Please do, because every time I've been, I always go to the touristy hotspots and I keep thinking I'm really cool and I'll go off the beaten track and then it never works out. So next time I'm there, I'm ringing you up and you're going to show me how to Dublin correctly, please.
Yeah, we promise. We know where to go.
Thank you so much. Sam, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.